WeekBack Recap. The Final Fantasy VII demo is finally out for you to play. We got a PC release date for Death Stranding, and the Uncharted movie gets yet another director to add to the monstrosity that is that project. All that and more on this week's episode of WeekBack Recap. Alright, so no joke, I was pretty much done with editing this week's video, but I realized a couple things. One, I forgot to tell you how to get the Final Fantasy VII demo. So the Final Fantasy VII demo is out, it's available to play right now. You can find it on the PSN store, but apparently people are having some issues with that. So if you go to the website, Sony's website, they have a proper link to try the free demo. You can go ahead and click that link and get right to the Final Fantasy VII demo. Go ahead and check it out. A lot of people have been saying some great things. It's nostalgia wrapped into one masterpiece, and people are loving it right now. I don't know how people are playing 3 hours worth of gameplay right now, but go ahead and get your hands on it. It's free. Get a chance to relive that magic. Second thing is, Halo Combat Evolved Edition just dropped on Steam today. Go ahead and pick that up, all right? This video should be out the same day that drops, so go ahead and pick that up. That's a must play. If you haven't played it yet, if you didn't have an Xbox the original time, go ahead and play that. Once again, you need to play Halo, all right? It's essential for everybody. I'm not gonna say it's the best first-person shooter ever made, but it did introduce a lot of new things to it. The gameplay was fantastic, multiplayer was great, so go ahead and get your hands on that. And third, this one's not important at all. I just thought this was goofy. Did you see that gaming bed? All right, this thing, all it really needs, all right, is a microwave and a toilet, and you're good to go. This is everything you need for perfection, all right? So once again, thank you for everything. I just wanted to throw that quick edit in there, and back to your previously scheduled program. Welcome back to another episode of WeekBack Recap, where I give you the video game news you need to know about. Alright, I know I was away for last week, but that's because I was at PAX East playing some games, getting some news, having a great time. I highly recommend it. More on that later though. Starting right up from the top, it's not that important, but I just wanted to bring it up again. This Uncharted movie finally gets another director, Ruben Fleischer, the director behind Zombieland and Venom. Why, dudes? But what's to say about this project? Why do they keep trying to make this happen? This project has been in development since 2009. This is the 7th director that has tried to step on the stage and try to create something out of this monstrosity. Let it go. Every video game does not need to be turned into a movie. Yes, I would have loved to see a Nathan Drake story turned into the big screen, but guess what? Indiana Jones is that. Maybe, just maybe, we don't need this to happen. Let it die. It's okay. Tom Holland, I'm sure you would have been a great Nathan Drake, but just let it go. Now, please. Moving on to the second story, something a little bit more important. Death Stranding is finally getting a release date for PC. It's supposed to drop about June 2nd, 2020 on both the Steam and the Epic Store. Now the cool thing with the Steam, and it hasn't been confirmed if this is coming to the Epic Store or not, but the cool thing about the Steam release is that it has some Half-Life integration with the gameplay. Now they haven't really said the extent of what that's going to be. Maybe it's just the head crab and some little fun nods to Half-Life gameplay like that. Or maybe we get some full-blown new things added to it. Maybe some custom levels, maybe some unique enemies to fight. Something along those lines. Now the really cool thing about this is that PlayStation and PC are playing nicely. For once, we don't have to wait and only play these games limited on the PlayStation platform. I get it. I mean, they're PlayStation exclusives. You should be going to the platform to play them. But if you're like me and you're just really stubborn to get off your PC, it's cool the fact that they come to PC eventually. I get they don't need to go to Xbox. That's kind of ridiculous. That's a little far out there, but coming to PC is a nice middle ground. The PC ecosystem is not hurting the PlayStation, nor is it doing the harm the other way around. So having both console and computer to be able to play the games, that's a cool middle ground for me. I'll definitely check it out when it comes to PC. Now moving on to the next story, Valorant. Riot's new FPS, I guess it was leaked early, so they just went ahead and released all the information about it as soon as possible, just being like, hey, it wasn't leaked. This is what we were planning to do. I mean, gameplay footage has been out for a couple days now, but anyways, it got some release notes and it looks like the most generic mashup between Overwatch and Counter-Strike possible. I mean, the aesthetic of this game is kind of all over the place. You have realistic gun models, similar to Counter-Strike. yet you have these artsy spells that just look out of place, and I don't know what they're trying to do here. I don't know who this is marketed towards. I don't believe that any person who plays one of the more intense first-person shooters, whether that be in Rainbow Six Siege or Counter-Strike, is really going to depart from that in order to play Valorant. Nor do I think it's fun and bubbly and cartoony enough to take from the Overwatch crowd. So it kind of leaves it in this place where I don't know who it's for. Maybe it's for the dedicated Riot fans, the ones who are just all into League of Legends and they are just 100% behind them. Now, I will admit, after reading the article that was written up on PC Gamer, the specs behind the game sound interesting. For example, they're talking about a higher tick rate to ensure that bullet counts and re-uploads for the servers are just outstanding. Now, what does that mean for the average player? It just means that your shot should hit somebody, and when you miss a bullet, it should miss them. They also have some anti-cheat protocols that are going to be built into the game. Some things like that, but overall, what we care about is the gameplay, and the gameplay just does not look interesting. This is all my opinion, of course, but it just does not look interesting. I did not look at this game and think, man, I can't wait to play this. Instead, honestly, I'd rather wait for Bleeding Edge. Like I talked about before, check out that video if you have not seen it. I'll go ahead and throw a link right up there. That's at least different enough that it makes me want to play another hero shooter. This Valorant does not. There's no excitement in it, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope this becomes a fantastic game. I hope this is something that everybody flocks to just to create more competition, more new ideas, just great things all around, but I don't see that happening. Call me on it. Now, finally going into what I was doing at PAX. Honestly, I was just there to have a great time. I had never been to PAX before, and I highly recommend it to anybody who's never gotten the chance to go. A little bit pricey, can't deny on that part, but I just had a great time. Getting your hands onto all these different games that just haven't been released to the public, getting a chance to talk to developers, and most importantly, being surrounded by people who want to talk about games. I loved it. I loved it. It didn't matter how long of a line you were sitting in, you got a chance to talk to the person next to you and they wanted to talk about games. There's too many times where you just want to have that conversation with somebody and they're just not interested. So the fact that you're surrounded by thousands of people who really want to talk about games is fantastic. Now, while I was there, I got a chance to try out some new cool games. Disintegration, I believe that game was released last year at Gamescom. It's the first-person shooter that utilizes a grav cycle as well as ground units so that you navigate and shoot in sync with them while having your ground units can capture control points. It is hard to describe, I cannot deny that, but man, was it fun. Probably the most fun I had the entire time while I was there was definitely the Baldur's Gate 3 gameplay reveal. That game looks absolutely fantastic, and watching that demo was just hilarious, as well as just made me want to jump right into that game. Now, I know that there's a little bit of controversy around that game right now, with it not being real-time action versus being that turn-based action similar to that Divinity Original Sin, and a lot of true Baldur's Gate fans are not happy about that. But honestly, what company would you rather take care of the Baldur's Gate franchise? This is Larian. They are fantastic at making games. Divinity Original Sin 1 and 2 are fantastic games. I highly recommend you play it. And lastly, I got to check out a whole bunch of other indie games. Unfortunately, I couldn't talk about a lot of them. The NDAs were out there. Got to play a Smash-like game on the PC that looks interesting. Got to play an NBA Jam type game. It looks cool. There's a lot of fantastic games. So if you ever get the chance to go to PAX, do not skip out on it. Definitely go. Highly recommend. Now, to end it off, of course, if you did enjoy the video, be sure to give me a follow, give me a subscribe, do all that good stuff, that entire rigmarole, that entire Jimmy Jams that you go through, all right? Just go ahead and hit that button. Just do it for me, all right? Just do it for me, all right? Help me out here, man. I'm struggling out here.